And next we're talking about my favorite piece, and that is the Blue Beetle. Hello, nerds! Thank you for joining me right here on my channel, Generally Nerdy. These are all of the pieces of news that are worth talking about inside the nerd sphere. Yeah, so much going on. No time to waste. Before we jump into the news, though, I'm going to ask you for just a real quick thumbs up if you like what I'm trying to do here on the channel. It is about to broaden. I do promise you that there's going to be more than just this. I mean, reactions and gameplay and all that jazz. So definitely the thumbs up helps me so much. So let me know that you like what's going on. I mean, thumbs down works as well if you don't like what's going on, because then I know to change it. Either way, I'm rambling. Let's hit an intro. Housekeeping for today is, I'm going to remind you of the push. We are doing the push for 1,000 followers on whatever social media app I can get 1,000 followers on, because that is what a lot of the people that I'm trying to get interviews with are looking at, is my followers and my interactions. I'm doing okay with the interactions. I just need more people to interact with. So, Twitter, it is at generally_nerdy. Instagram at generally nerdy. Facebook at generally nerdy. TikTok at generally nerdy. I'm pretty sure. I'll double check that and put it on the screen. But yeah, go find me, go follow me. Let's have these conversations. I am getting much more better about that. So the push out of the way. Let's talk briefly about a decision that was made, that I made, I guess I should say, approximately 2 days ago while I was gearing up for today's episode, and that is Comic-Con. So, we are in a very interesting situation in that we are still kind of in the middle of a global pandemic, and it seems that things are going to be flaring up. Now, personal politics aside, there is the matter of my day job, there is the matter of just generally making money when I go do the things so that I can pay my bills and live. That being said, what with the pandemic compounding a lot of issues, it is going to be much more difficult for me to make it to any Comic-Con this year. So I kind of had to pull the trigger and say, no Comic-Con. I might jump in on a day of Denver Comic-Con. I might jump in on a day of Starfest. Actually, by the time Starfest Denver rolls through, things will very potentially change because that's not until 22. But for 21, Salt Lake Comic-Con, Denver Comic-Con, very likely not happening. Salt Lake Comic-Con, I'm going to put that at about 98% likelihood that I'm not going to be there. Denver, I might go to day 3 of the con just to get a little bit of stuff, just to scratch that itch, because I do want to go. Now, again, with variants and things and stuff, Denver Comic-Con very potentially might not happen. What with all of the things going on down in Denver, we're not holding our breath. Let's just put it that way. So thank you very much, nerds, for understanding. Though this does not change the fact that I am still doing a push and trying to get as many interviews. It looks like it's probably going to be musicians, which are still in the nerdy sphere, but still not really Comic-Con fodder. But yeah, we will be doing all that we can to broaden the content coming out of this channel, even though we're not going to Comic-Con. Anyway, thank you for listening to me ramble. Let's hit the news. Music news is our biggest episode today, bar none. This is going to be another quick episode just for reasons. I'm trying actually a number of things. I'll be 100% transparent, trying a number of things with trying to work the algorithm over on the YouTubes and so on and so forth. So things are going to be in the test phase for, I would imagine, quite some time. This being one of them, so thank you for joining me for the music news. Let's let's just start at the top. We have no follow-ups to speak of, so we're going to jump right into new videos / new music. And the first one is a new piece from Tremonti. Tremonti just released the title track, Marching in Time, for his newest record, Marching in Time. He is also heading out on tour, this is notable, with Seven Dust, a band that we have been known to keep tabs on the channel from time to time. The tour starts September 3rd, and it's not super long, but we'll talk about other tours in just a moment. So that is Tremonti. Next, we have another one we're going to be talking about in tours, and that is Cradle of Filth. New Cradle of Filth song released called Crawling King Chaos. It is off of their newest record, Resistance is Futile, which is out October 22nd. We will talk about that also in tour section, but definitely worth a watch. Both of these videos. Tremonti, if you're not into the super heavy stuff, but you still like a little bit of grit to your music, definitely check out the Tremonti track. If you definitely like the scarier side of the music industry, then Cradle of Filth is the way to go. But that is what we have for new videos and music. Moving right into tours, we have a big tour just announced. Breaking Benjamin is going on tour with freaking Papa Roach and Memphis Mayfire, who seems to be the odd man out in this bill. Though Memphis Mayfire is also probably on the lighter side of the metalcore, so it kind of makes sense. Papa Roach hasn't been metalcore since their Infest record, so that's a thing. But yeah, very huge. These are really big acts. They're going on tour together. It's a pretty short date. There's only 8, or short tour. There's only 8 dates. Almost flipped that. Tickets go on sale August 6th. You can get them over on the Breaking Benjamin website. Link in the description. Moving on. Our next tour has to do with Cradle of Filth. They're going on tour for 20 dates in October as a lead up to the release of their newest record, Existence is Futile, rather. October 22nd is the release date of that. The tour starts on October 2nd and runs through the end of the month. There's, I believe it's 20 dates through the month, so definitely check them out if you can. They are coming through my neck of the woods. I'm probably gonna go, not gonna lie. But if you are looking for tickets, again, link in the description. And I remember we're going to talk about the record, right? So Existence is Futile. The other thing to note about this record is that we are going to get the vocal stylings of Doug Bradley. Why does that name sound so familiar? Well, it freaking should, because he's Hellraiser. He is Pinhead himself, and with that beautiful, dark, deep voice, he is going to be featured on 2 tracks of the new Cradle of Filth record. So that is awesome. But we're moving on. Next, we're talking about A Day to Remember. Also just announced their tour. They are going out with Asking Alexandria. That is a tour that totally makes sense. I've never heard of the other band on this bill, Point North, but I will probably look into them and then we'll maybe talk about them on the show. Who knows? September 28th is when this tour kicks off. It's in Rochester, New York. It goes all the way through November 6th in St. Augustine, Florida. Again, link in the description if you are looking to see Asking Alexandria, Day to Remember, or whoever the heck Point North is. Moving on to our final tour that we're talking about, and it is Lorna Shore. This is a new blackened death metal band that I have found not that long ago, but it's been a couple years at this point, I believe. Their new vocalist, Will Ramos, has been making waves in this band already. They've only released 1 single, which I have yet to listen to because I really want to do a reaction for that one. But they are going on tour. It is primarily up the East Coast, primarily. It is exclusively up the East Coast from south to north or north to south. I don't remember. It starts It starts August 12th and runs through October 3rd. The new record will be released in the middle of that. New record is called And I Return to Nothingness. August 13th is the release date for that. This is their first new record with Will, and that single has everybody talking, so I'm really, really excited to jump in on that as well. That is all we have for tours, so now let's talk music news. News for this episode, we're talking first about The Weeknd, which is pop is a genre everybody listens to. If you claim otherwise, you are a big fat liar. But the Weeknd rather is releasing new music. This is an announcement for new music, so we will be talking about the song when it comes out at the end of the week. Friday is the release date. It is called Take My Breath. That is all we really know so far, so we're going to be moving right along to Coachella is the next piece we're talking about. We now have the rescheduled dates from 2020, and also we know who the headliners are, the main headliners are for the show. So the rescheduled dates are April 15th, 16th, and 17th, and then again the following weekend, April 22nd through 24th. It is going to be 2022. It is not happening this year, obviously. It is going to take place at the Empire Polo Club in Indio, California, wherever the heck that is, and the headliners are Rage Against the Machine and Travis Scott. So pretty freaking huge and also pretty diametrically opposed, stylistically speaking. So very interesting, but that is kind of how Coachella rolls. That's what we've got for that. We're moving on. Next, our final piece has to do with Metallca, and this one is just a big congratulations because they are the most recent band to join the Billionaires Club over on YouTube. Nothing Else Matters is the most recent video to cross that threshold of over 1 billion plays. I don't know exactly where it is on Spotify, but it's just really strange to me that first Nirvana took so long to cross the over 1 billion, and then Metallca, who I didn't even think hadn't crossed that threshold yet. So very interesting. Big congratulations to the boys in Metallca. That is our music section. Gaming and tech, short but sweet. So first thing, we're talking follow-ups on YouTube. This is not the YouTube legal thing that we've been keeping tabs on, but the YouTube technical side of things. We announced when they were doing the premium, and now they are apparently testing Premium Lite. Premium Lite is just a fee that you can pay that will get rid of ads, but you don't get any of the other bonuses of being a YouTube Premium member. Those other bonuses are downloads and background playing when you're on mobile, so on and so forth. So things that probably aren't super well utilized by a lot of people who are paying for YouTube Premium. So the cost is roughly so far, because they're only trying it in Europe, so the translation in money takes a little bit of doing, but so far it looks like they're pretty much keeping it right about the student tier level of the regular premium package. So right about $8 a month, which is still kind of high to just get rid of ads. Yeah, very interesting. I hope that eventually this works out for them. That way they can see, oh, well, this boosted us. Maybe if we drop our prices, it'll boost even more. I don't know, but we're moving on. Now we're talking about actual news. We have a new game from the world of Batman, but this is a board game, and it's a very interesting take on the world of Batman. It's called Escape from Arkham Asylum, and you get to assume the identity of one of the many rogues in Batman's rogues gallery, and you're trying to, as the title implies, escape from Arkham Asylum, and you're trying also to evade the Bat the whole time through. So just really interesting. Figured it's a Kickstarter. There is a link down in the description if you want to fund the Kickstarter. That's a pretty noble thing to do. I would commend it. I don't have the money to do as such. Yeah, moving on. We're talking next about Halo Infinite, and this is going to take up a little bit of time because I actually finally got through on the beta, the flight number 1, as they insist we refer to it. Flight number 1 was pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Finally getting through, I recorded the whole dang thing, played for approximately 3.5, 4 hours, somewhere in that neighborhood, because I'd been trying all dang weekend to get through, and it finally went through in literally the 11th hour. It was 11 p.m. the night before they cut off the beta, so I kind of had to, make do with it, with whatever I could. So a couple of key things to point out from this. There is going to be a lot of things that you can purchase in Halo Infinite to cosmetically change your Spartan. How that plays out, they have definitely said that there is not going to be a bunch of loot crate situations. Nothing that you purchase is going to affect your gameplay. You're not going to get a leg up in the multiplayer because you have purchased anything. As far as the main game, we don't really know yet, but again, they have said they are not doing loot crates. So that is a plus. There's going to be a lot to purchase though. I'm going to do a video with the footage that I did get, and we're going to break down a lot of that stuff. So if you are interested, then definitely stay tuned to the YouTube channel, because that is what's happening. Also, things of note is the insane difficulty of the Spartan level bots. So they gave us 3 different levels. They gave us the ODST level. I can't remember what the middle level was called. And then Spartan was the 3rd level. And I got to play against the first because I got in for that 20 minutes on the first day, and then got through on the last day when it was only Spartan level bots. And it's not necessarily that the bots themselves are difficult, because again, I'll break this down in the video that I'm working on right now, but it's not necessarily, again, that the bots are that difficult. It is, though, that I think they've given them a digital leg up in that their armor is stronger than any of the armor a regular person player uses, because I literally hit 2 bots with a grenade and then unloaded a full clip into the bot before it died. Normally, one of those 2 things would be plenty, but it required both of them. And then the second bot took me out because it took me so long to take the first bot down. So yeah, it's going to be, there's a lot of balance. Let's just put it that way. There's a lot of balance that needs to happen for Halo Infinite before it releases, but that's why betas exist. That is the end, though, of gaming and tech. Comic books and books. Honestly, I kind of padded this one. I'm not gonna lie. We only have 1 piece, and it's just because I thought it was awesome. The piece has to do with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers, the crossover comic book that came out a little while ago, and now we have new action figures. They're pretty freaking cool. That's all we got for comic books and books, though, is just the really awesome action figure action. Yeah, so TV streaming. All right, so we have a couple of things to talk about. They're gonna be brief, but they're significant. So the first of which, we're just coming swinging right out the gate for TV streaming, and that is Miss Marvel. We have now hard evidence of a rumor that I didn't touch before. No, I did talk about it very, very briefly, but I put it pretty low, not super low, but pretty low on the likelihood scale. That being said, the rumor was that they're going to change Miss Marvel's powers. And I was like, it doesn't sound legit because of a number of different things. But apparently it was, because we now have some promotional art, which if you're watching this on the YouTubes, then you are looking at the promotional art. For those of you just listening on one of the audio outlets, let me describe for you ever so briefly what we're looking at. We are looking at a drawing of the actress who has been cast to play Miss Marvel. In that drawing, where you would expect her to be showcasing her powers, it would appear that she is, only instead of the embiggen power that she has in the comic books, it seems that she has some sort of crystalline power over her hand. So what does that mean? What am I saying? It looks like instead of her skin enlarging or her body parts enlarging or, whatever it is, stretching, however you want to phrase that term or what happens in the books, instead of that, her hand is covered in a hard crystal that enlarges her hand. And so her hand itself is still the same size, but this purple crystal thing is over the hand to make it bigger. So what exactly that means, we don't really know just yet. There's a lot of speculation out there. My personal speculation is that is what is going to be the quote-unquote embiggen power, is the crystalline outer shell that she creates, similar to, a Green Lantern or some such. That is what's going to be the stretch and the embiggen stuff. So it's a strange change, but it is a change nonetheless, and also a change that a couple of leakers have been claiming to have previous knowledge about for some time. So, I don't know, maybe I need to take a couple of those leakers a little more seriously on the next round of rumors. Maybe not. Anyway, we're moving right along. Our next follow-up has to do with Mighty Ducks, the sequel series that is on Disney Plus. This one's ever so brief. They are getting a season 2 for Mighty Ducks Game Changers, so congratulations to all of you on that, because from what I've heard, it's pretty great. I haven't had the time to watch it yet, unfortunately. I really, really want to, though, but we're moving on nonetheless. In news, we only have one piece for TV streaming, and that is an announcement that we're getting another Star Wars holiday special. It's for a different holiday though, and it's again another Lego special. So we're getting the Lego Christmas special, Christmas holiday, but we're also getting the Star Wars Terrifying Tales holiday special for Halloween. The release date is this October 1st. There is, they haven't released a trailer yet, but there is a trailer that is supposed to be coming out soon. So crossing our fingers that comes out in the next couple days or week. That's all we got, though, for news. Yeah, moving on. Movie news has me a little bit excited, but that's for the end of the section. We're going to start first with follow-ups. On follow-ups, we have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, the reboot movie that Seth Rogen is executive producing. We now have an announcement of who the writing staff is going to be, and it's going to be Colin and Casey Jost. I don't have high hopes for this. I mean, Rogen has done some good things with nerdy culture in the not too distant past, since he's become a producer and such, but I'm not a fan of Colin Jost on a number of levels, the least of which his comedic writing ability. So I can only imagine that Casey's not that far behind. Casey Jost is Colin's brother, obviously, and he writes for Jimmy Fallon over on The Tonight Show. So again, just a set of humor that doesn't really do much for me. Crossing fingers that this is still a good movie, though. Moving on. Next, we're talking about Flash Gordon. Flash Gordon is apparently now going from an animated movie to a live action movie. Again, still Taika Waititi is going to be directing, and that's all it's a follow-up, so it's short. But whatever. Moving on. Next, we're talking about some trailers a trailer that just launched, and that is Venom 2. It doesn't really do a whole lot for my excitement level. My excitement level for this movie is pretty high anyway. This doesn't really change it one way or the other, so check it out. Link in the description or the show notes, whatever you want to say. It's worth a watch, but again, doesn't really swing me one way or the other. Now we're getting into the fun parts. So first off, we have Fast and Furious. This one's technically a follow-up, but we didn't cover it originally because it's silly infighting. But it's actually come to a peak, so we're gonna do the TLDR real quick. So Vin Diesel and Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, don't like each other very much, and it seems that has kind of culminated in The Rock saying, you know what, I just don't want to do your series anymore. So The Rock is no longer going to be in the Fast and Furious main franchise. However, he does still have big plans for the Hobbs and Shaw franchise because reasons that apparently make sense to him, but whatever. The genesis of this was some sort of on-set spat between he and Vin Diesel. And so Vin Diesel aired their dirty laundry after The Rock had said that they had squashed whatever beef existed. And so when Vin Diesel finally came out and said, oh yeah, this was what happened and blah, 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 I'm the best, The Rock went, okay, I'm done. Basically is how that happened. That there's not really much else to say there. We'll keep tabs on, if there's anything that else develops there, but Not likely. Moving on. Next, we're talking about the next Martin Scorsese movie. It's a movie called Killer of the Flower Moon, which this is actually a casting announcement, but it's a significant casting announcement because it's Brendan Fraser. That's just, he's gonna be in a Martin Scorsese movie, and let the Fraser Renaissance begin, man. He's already been coming back up, right? So this is just kind of, that's a pretty big benchmark right there. Nothing else to talk about on that one. We're gonna move right along. And next we're talking about my favorite piece, and that is the Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle, depending on which outlet you're consulting, either is in deep conversation with or has already signed their lead for Jaime Reyes. Jaime, if you want to believe certain outlets that say it is a done deal, is going to be played by, and I am going to butcher this name and I apologize, the kid's name is Zolo Maridueña, I think is how that's pronounced. Maridueña has been kind of on the come up recently, so this is going to be a really high profile piece for him. Some of the other stuff I've seen him in, it definitely, he's a great choice for the part. I'm super excited about this. I really hope that it is legit. I did not link to the source that said he has signed. I only linked to the comicbook.com source that said they're in conversations with him, but I don't know, it sounds pretty legit that he has signed, so I'm just gonna say that that's the case, but that is all we have for the movie section. All right, let's talk rumors. We have just a few to get through. Some gaming stuff starts us off. We're talking about Horizon Forbidden West, the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. This is a quickie. It sounds like there might be another delay on this game that has been delayed multiple times already, kind of the status quo for the industry right now. The delay now puts it from holiday of this year to sometime next year. So it was supposed to be coming out in 2021. Now it sounds like it might be 2022. And there's no reason to believe that this is not accurate. I mean, it does not come directly from the publisher, so we can't say it's a done deal, hence rumor mill. But yeah, we're putting this one at like 95% likelihood that it's a thing because, again, this is a kind of a thing that's been going on. Next is a fun rumor. Let's talk about that Wednesday series. Ava Green is now being reported to be in discussions to play Morticia for the Netflix Wednesday Addams series. Yes, this is keeping tabs on the Addams family. They have cast Wednesday. It seems they're going a little bit younger. I can't remember the girl's name, but that's not part of the rumor because that's news and we've already talked about it. But fun. I like Ava Green as Morticia. Was not one that I would have thought of on my own, so I'm super happy that this is in the rumor mill. Likelihood, though, that she is going to be Morticia in the series, I don't know, 50-50, man. It's not a super strong source, but it's a great thing to consider. So yeah, we're gonna put that 50%. Next is an interesting rumor from the world of DC. It seems that they're working on an animated series for the Elseworlds line of comic books for HBO Max. Because apparently DC just can't help but follow in Marvel's footsteps, even when it comes to movies anymore, which kind of sucks. But this makes a lot of sense. There is every reason to believe that some producer, some bigwig over at the DC Warner Brothers place, is saying, well, they're doing this. We had the series long before them. Elseworlds was a thing before What If. What If was an answer in the comic books to Elseworlds. So for this to go the other direction in movies seems really funny to me, but it makes a lot of sense. They have a similar property. Ugh, why didn't we think of this? So likelihood that we're actually going to get an Elseworlds series, I'm putting this one pretty high. We're going to say about 75% likely that that's legit. Next, we're talking about Halo Infinite. In the gaming section, I let you know, and for those of you that didn't listen to the gaming section, I finally got through in the beta, so yay me, go. But it was literally like I had to lose sleep in order to play the beta because I only had so many hours once I finally got through. Anyway, that's not the rumor. The rumor has to do, though, with the beta. Flight number 1, on the PC, there were a bunch of people that were combing through, like they do, combing through all of the files and combing through any information they could glean therein. And apparently there was a lot of information associated with this beta. Because that makes a lot, I don't understand, but I'm not going to spoil too much here. I'm going to let you know, though, that according to the leakers who've gone through the files, there is one full campaign that is going to launch with the game. There is also going to be multiple campaigns to follow it, or the potential, at least, for multiple campaigns to follow it. There is one fun thing for multiplayer. It's going to be the Countdown map, which comes from the Halo Reach game. It's going to be larger, but it is going to be basically the same map. And also, the other noteworthy thing that came out of these leaks is that Battle Royale is actually going to be a part of this game, in spite of what 343 Industries has said numerous times. So, likelihood that this is a legitimate leak. This is going the highest I think I've ever given a rumor leak before. We're going 98% here because there is a little bit of piece of information that I kind of left out. In that when we were playing, everyone who was part of the beta got a message directly from 343 saying, hey guys, maybe don't go prying too deep into the code because we've got word that some of you already have, and there's definitely some stuff that's going to spoil this game if you go too deep. So then the floodgates were opened, and so the fact that 343 was like, hey, we put things in there that we don't want you to see yet, it tells me that at least most of this leak is legit. So I would be very surprised because they are at such a point in development that they can't really go back. I'd be very surprised if they did go back because it is still possible, hence why not 100%, but super, super unlikely. Our final rumor has to do with Superman and kind of anti-Superman, really, because the rumor says that Henry Cavill's contract is up. He is no longer obligated to play Superman in anything, and therefore will not make an appearance in the new Flash movie with Ezra Miller. This sounds, there is a strong possibility that this is legitimate, though we do know that it's not entirely accurate because he did have a couple of cameos that he had not yet fulfilled. So is the leaker or is the insider, quote unquote, trying to say or missing information in that the cameos, he got bought out of the remainder of his contract because it was so small. They were like, whatever, here's however much money we owe you for those cameos, we don't need you anymore. That I think is more likely, but that's not what the rumor says. So I'm gonna drop this one significantly because of that, because we do know again that there was at least one cameo that he still owed them. So saying that he's completely out of his contract now without saying he's been bought out of his contract seems unlikely. So about 20% likelihood for this rumor. That, though, is all of the rumors we've got for the episode. And that's the end of the episode. So what did I miss? What should we talk about in the next one? Let me know in the comments down low. If, though, you want to go deeper into the conversation, generallynerdy.net is the place to go see all of the other stuff. Patreon.com/generallynerdy is the paywall. Go get behind that for just a couple bucks. And yeah, thank you very much, nerds, for joining me. I am going to go. If you're falling, though, behind on your nerd news, you want to catch up, you can click or tap one of those boxes right there to the side of my face. And yeah, thank you very much for joining me. Before I head out, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.